Most people think that e-commerce is all about finding the right product. Well, it's not. Because if you ever have people click on your ad, land on your website, look around, and still not buy, then you already know the problem goes much deeper than just the product. And you start blaming everything: the product, the market, the website, the ads, and then you do what most beginners do. You start all over again. New product, new store, new ads. I used to do the exact same thing until I learned one simple idea from this book that completely changed the way I look at e-commerce. Once I understood it, my conversion rate went up, my ads started working better, and I finally started getting more sales. So in this video, I want to share that idea with you, because this might be the thing that's been missing all along. Let me start with something most people don't expect. I'm not the smartest guy in the room. I'm not some academic business guy who studied marketing or read a library full of entrepreneurship books. In fact, most of my life, I barely read. Before I made money online, I was working in construction for minimum wage, living in a shared house with 14 people just to afford rent, and after 14 months of work, I only managed to save $300. Now, there is nothing wrong with construction work. It's honest work. But after a while, you start thinking about your future. You start asking yourself questions like, is this what my life is going to look like in the next 20 years? Wake up, work, sleep, repeat. I started asking myself, is there another way to live? Is there something I could build for myself? Because deep down, I knew I wanted something different. I wanted more control over my time, more freedom, more opportunities. That's when I started looking into e-commerce, dropshipping, Shopify, online stores. And when you first discover e-commerce online, it looks incredibly simple. You see people on YouTube saying things like, just find a product, build the website, run ads, and you will start making money. It sounds straightforward. At least that's what I thought. But when you actually try it, reality hits pretty fast. You launch the stores, you run ads, you refresh your Shopify dashboard again and again, and nothing. Nada. No sales. Maybe one random order here and there, but nothing that makes you feel like it's really working. So your brain start blaming everything. Maybe the product isn't good enough. Maybe the website doesn't look professional. Maybe the market is too saturated. So what do most beginners do? They start over. New product, new store, new ads, and they repeat that cycle again and again. I went through that exact same process for months, testing products, building different websites, trying different ads, and honestly, nothing was really clicking. Until one day, someone introduced me to a book called 100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozi. Now remember, I'm not a big reader, but for some reason, this book caught my attention. So I started reading it, and I ended up finishing the whole thing. This book completely changed how I look at business. Not because it showed me some complicated marketing strategy, but because it explains something extremely simple, something that most beginners completely overlook: the offer. And once I understood that one idea, everything started to make more sense. Here's the mistake almost everyone makes when they start e-commerce. They focus on the wrong things. They obsess over finding the perfect product, designing a beautiful website, and run fancy ads. They spend hours scrolling on TikTok looking for winning products. They watch YouTube videos about product research, they analyze competitors, they copy product pages, they search for trends, but they forget to ask the most important question in business. Why should someone buy your product right now? That's where the offer comes in. Because if your offer is weak, nothing else matters. You can have the best product in the world, but if your offer is weak, people won't buy. But the opposite is also true. If the offer is strong, even a simple generic product can do really well. Before I understood this, I kept thinking the product was the problem, and that's why I kept chasing new products. So I would start from scratch. New product, new website, new ads, over and over again. But once I start focusing on the offer behind the product, things began to change. My ads started working better, and my conversion rate went from around 1.5, which by the way is the average conversion rate on Shopify, to 4 and even 5% on some of my stores. That shift alone changed everything. And I want to be clear about something. This isn't just theory. This isn't just something I read in this book and decided to talk about online. These are ideas I used in real businesses. I spent over $3 million on Meta ads alone, and I helped hundreds of people start and scale their e-commerce brands. And once I started applying the idea of strong offers, everything started improving. Ads performed better, conversion rates increased, and revenue became more consistent. For example, just one of my stores generated around $250,000 in revenue in 90 days with a conversion rate of around 3.8%. If you understand e-commerce, you'll know those are solid numbers, especially in competitive markets like the US and UK. And the interesting part is that the product itself wasn't anything revolutionary. It was a simple, generic product. What made the difference was the offer around the product. And that's why I always say, in e-commerce, the product matters, but the offer matters even more. Because most of the time, you only get one real shot at making the sale. You run ads, someone clicks, they land on your product page, and if they don't buy there and then, chances are they won't come back. Studies shows around 70 to 80% of first-time visitors never return to an e-commerce store. So if they don't buy the first time and you don't follow up, that opportunity is gone. Now, before we get into the next steps from the book, I have to show you something that changed my whole business. I tested a simple strategy that anyone can apply to their store and add 30 to 40% extra revenue every single month. And by the way, it's all automated. I'm talking about email marketing. Not many people talk about it, but it literally makes money while you sleep. This is exactly why I use OMNISEND in my stores. It connects directly to Shopify and lets me collect emails with pop-ups and at checkout, then automatically send welcome emails, abandoned cart reminders, and follow-ups to bring visitors back. On average, brands using OMNISEND generate about $79 for every dollar spent on email marketing. And that's also how I made over $100,000 in just 90 days with OMNISEND. If you want to try OMNISEND in your store, you can click the link in the description below and use my code G30 when you decide to upgrade to get a 30% off. Now, let's go back to the core idea of this video. The offer. Because once you understand how to create a strong offer, everything becomes easier. Let's look at a simple example. Imagine we are selling something extremely basic, a portable blender, nothing fancy. Just a small, rechargeable blender people use to make smoothies. If you sell it the way most beginners do, the product page might look like this. Portable blender, USB rechargeable, 6 blades, 500 milliliters capacity. Technically, all of that information is correct. But there is one big problem. Nobody cares. Customers don't wake up thinking, I hope I find a blender with 6 blades today. People don't buy features, they buy results. So instead of selling the product, you sell the outcome. For example, instead of saying portable blender with 6 blades, you say something like make fresh smoothies anywhere in 30 seconds without needing a kitchen. Now, think about how different that feels. Suddenly, the product means something. Now it represents convenience, health, and lifestyle. Now the blender isn't just a blender anymore. It's a solution to a real problem. And this is the first big idea from this book. It shows how you can increase the perceived value of your product. Because when customers believe that the value they receive is bigger than the price they pay, they will buy. So now the question is, how do you actually make the offer stronger. First is selling the outcome. People don't buy products, they buy results. Think about who might want a portable blender. Great marketers speaks directly to a specific person. Busy professionals, gym goers, travelers who want healthy drinks on the go. When the product clearly solves a problem, sales becomes much easier. But even when someone likes the outcome, there is usually another obstacle in their mind, and that's risk. Whenever someone sees a product online, they automatically think, what if it doesn't work? What if this is a waste of money? A stronger offer removes that fear. For example, you can say something like, try it for 30 days. If you don't like it, return it and get a full refund. Now the customer feels safe. The risk disappears. And when the risk goes down, sales go up. Another way to make your offer even better is by increasing the value instead of lowering the price. Most beginners think the best way to sell more is to discount the product. But discounting the product can actually make your product look cheap. Instead, you increase the value. For example, buy the portable blender and get a smoothie recipe guide, a cleaning brush, an extra lid, all for the same price. Now the offer feels bigger and more exciting. But even an exciting offer needs one more important element: urgency. Here is something interesting about human behavior. When there is no urgency, people delay. They will say things like, I'll buy later, I'll think about it. So your offer needs a reason for customers to act now. For example, you can say something like, get the bundle for 50% off today only. Now the customer feels a small sense of urgency, and that small push can make the difference between a visitor and a buyer. Now, here is the truth. Most people watching this video will understand everything I just explained. They'll think, that makes sense, that's a good idea, and they will do nothing. They will not build a website, they will not improve their product pages, they will not run better ads, just another video watched. But a small percentage of people will actually apply this. They will start looking at products differently. They will focus on building stronger offers. And those are the people who end up building real businesses. So if you take one thing from this video, let it be this: stop chasing the perfect product and start building the perfect offer. Because the difference between a store that struggles and a store that makes 7 and 8 figures in sales is usually not the product, it's the offer behind it. In the end, business is actually simple. You don't need the most advanced product. You don't need the fanciest website. You just need an offer that makes people think, this is exactly what I need right now. And once you understand how to create offers people can't refuse, you can sell almost anything online. If you want to learn more, I've got a free training video in the description below where I break down how I build my e-commerce stores from scratch. And if you want my help to start and scale your e-commerce business, you can also apply there to work with me one-on-one. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what topic you want me to cover next. This is George. I'll see you in the next one.